Something we've learned here at UVU that I'm sure is universal across the nation is that students run into these 7 barriers or obstacles that make them stop out, which means leave college. Finances is the number one reason students stop out or leave college. Particularly here in Utah, we're very debt adverse. We don't want to go in debt. So instead, students will work more than, just so you know, you should only work 20 hours or less if you want to be a successful student. Work way more than 20 hours. If we look at like the earnings that you can make over a high school degree or a college degree, we're talking anywhere between 60 and 80% more you're going to make with a college degree. If I worked less, took out some student loan, I would actually get my college degree and be earning that 60 to 80% more faster. So as we look at some of these barriers, particularly finances, sometimes going a little bit against of what might feel right to us might be the right thing. So make sure that you weigh out your options on that. A second one is academic integrations. Our students aren't quite sure how to integrate into this academic world of college. We find they might suffer from imposter syndrome. They may not know what an office hour is. They may not know what a syllabus is. They don't understand the culture of college. And so this academic integration, another thing I see my students struggle a lot with is they think, woohoo, I'm in college. High school, they had me there from 7 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Every single minute of the day I was in class. I'm in college now. I go 3 times a week for a couple hours. Piece of cake. I've got all this time for everything. But what they don't know is that you're required to do anywhere from 2 to 3 hours per credit hour that you're taking. So if you're taking a full load of 12 credit hours per semester, you need to think that you need to put in at least another 24 hours outside of class time in order to do the reading, the assignments, and anything else that might go with your class. So students kind of are in this false sense of, I've got all this free time, when you're really expected to do a lot more work on your own. You're not necessarily been given those that you might have been given in high school. So a lot of it is now on yourself. So some students drop out because they don't understand the culture of college or what's expected of them. A third area is social integration, just the sense of belonging. I always thought the only need of a human being is love. If they have love, life is great. But in the research and in my experience, I've learned there's more to just feeling loved. It's having a sense of belonging. Where do you belong? And so we may have family, we may have friends, but as we move to college, do we feel like we belong there? It may encompass part of our personal narrative. It may just be, there's nothing else here for me. I'm not enjoying the classes. I don't belong to any sort of group. We've learned that social integration is a reason that our students stop out because they don't feel like they belong at the institution. Another area are just these external responsibilities that we have, right? If I were to put a hat on for every role that I have in just my personal life, this whole desk might be full of hats. So we have all of these different roles, and with these roles come different responsibilities. And a lot of students stop out because they're not quite sure how to manage all of those different roles and responsibilities. And so part of being a successful student would be being able first to identify those roles and what our responsibilities are, and how is it that we can manage all of those different roles and responsibilities. Another area that students struggle with that I won't talk much because it's hard as a professor to really reach those areas is just university barriers, right? They might not know how to sign up for classes. They might not know what an advisor is. Those sort of things. I can, of course, guide them where that is, but those are also areas that each institution might have those barriers. Shawn Achor is someone whom I really enjoy his book called Happiness Advantage. And I think if we're talking mental health, if we look at his 5 suggestions for increasing happiness, is the first is gratitude. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day, because it trains your mind, it kind of rewires it to look for the good in the world, as we are many times bombarded with the negative. The second thing is to journal a positive experience we've had. So as we journal it, our body reacts in the exact same way as when we lived that experience. As we retell our mind of that experience, our body reacts in the same way. The third thing is exercise. Exercise tells our brain that what our body does matters. The fourth thing that he talks about is meditating. Meditating trains us to focus on one thing at a time in this world of multitasking. And the last thing is random or conscious acts of kindness. If we can do one random or conscious act of kindness each day, it will not only make us feel better, but those that we give the kindness to. So as we have these 7 barriers that college students run into, there are resources on our campuses that can help you as a student. Professors are here for you. There are so many things that can help you overcome these barriers, and know that as these barriers come, or these obstacles come to you, there's a way of overcoming them.